In a nutshell, the things that I have learned about manifesting. We want to manifest something because we want the feeling of having that thing or experiencing that thing. The concert that we can't afford to go to or can't get tickets for, or the better health, or more money, or the better job, or the happy marriage, or whatever it is. It's because of the feeling that you get from having that thing. So you go ahead and capture that feeling. It is said feeling is a secret, but that feeling is the feeling that you already have it, the acceptance that's already a fact in your life. You assume that you already have it. So you assume it in your consciousness, in your imagination, that you already have it. And just enjoy the feeling of having that better money, that better paying job, that happy marriage, or whatever it is that you're after. Just assume the feeling of it. This removes the feeling of lack of not having it. You just already assume the feeling that you already have it, because the feeling of having that thing or experiencing that thing that matters to you. As far as the I amness, I am, it comes from Kabbalistic mysticism. It's the concept of I am, like in the Bible, the Old Testament, and the New Testament too, where it says I am that I am, or I am he. In the Greek Septuagint, it's translated into English as I am the being. Who are you being? I am being. I am. I am the person that has this thing. I am the feeling that you already have it, that it is real. Capture the feeling of it. Feeling is the secret. It really is. When you understand it's the feeling that's already a done deal. When you already have it, you're not looking for it anymore. You're not feeling lack. You're feeling fulfillment. That, yeah, I already got it. And it's kind of a matter-of-fact thing. It's like buying a new car. The new carness and the newness of it, it becomes more regular to you. You're not like happy, excited like the first couple of days when you get up in the morning and you see it out in your driveway. Or the new relationship or the new job. You're excited for a couple of days, but after you've had it, so you go to the end and you already feel like you already have it. It's the feeling that you're after, the assumption. They talk about the law of assumption, which is just simply the law of consciousness, the law of mind, because everything is just mind. The so-called law of attraction is really just the principle of correspondence. If you don't feel like you have something and you're trying to do it to do something physically, or in the manifesting world trying to do something psychologically to get something, then you're doing it from the state of mind, of the state of not having it. But when you have it, you already have it. You feel like you have it. So you correspond with the feeling that you already have it. That's the so-called law of attraction, the so-called law of assumption. That's all manifesting is. Just feel like you already got it in your mind. Whatever doubts or fearful thoughts you have, or terrible negative emotions you have, don't fight them off. There's nothing wrong with you if you have negative thoughts coming through your head and it's never going to come, or worrying about your bills because you don't have that better paying job yet, or whatever, or worrying about your health. Those fearful thoughts, let them come. Don't fight them. Just let them come and let them go. The negative or bad emotions or whatever, let them come. Let them go. But in the back of your mind, because the back of the mind is who you truly are, that awareness, that calm, still awareness, that's the I amness, the God mind. You are like the all-seeing eye. That is you. That all-seeing eye is you. That's your awareness, observing you having your thoughts and your feelings. You see them, but they don't affect you, because your eye is focused on the feeling of having the thing, that you already have it. In a nutshell, in under 4 minutes, that's what I've learned about manifesting through not only reading and listening to others, but experience myself. A point I wanted to make and I didn't finish was when I was talking about you get a new vehicle or a new you have a happy marriage and a vehicle that you want or whatever. The point is, going to the end means normalizing it. You just assume it. It's law of assumption. You assume having it. You assume that it's yours. And it's a done deal. I've had it for a while. You're normalizing that feeling. And that is the correspondence, or law of attraction, so-called, or law of assumption, so-called. Your mind corresponds to having that, to the state of having that. Focus that. Like I said, your physical mind's going to do its stuff. You're going to have your negative feelings or emotions come up and go, and anxieties and stuff. Let them come and go. Because in the back of your mind, you're calm. You're like, I've already made my decision. You're the God of your world. Worship God. Know that you are the all-seeing illuminated eye. You are the Illuminati. You choose where that eye focuses, on wealth or health, on poverty or illness, on happiness or struggle. You choose where that eye focuses. And when you're focused, you don't worry about what the human mind is doing and the human emotions. Let them come and go. We're here for the experience. But you are consciousness playing an avatar, a character, a human character in this Matrix lucid dream-like video game. That's temporary. Have fun. Live your life. A lot of teachers, the good teachers on the internet, will talk about identity. Teaching this as identity. Do you identify as the person with a new vehicle or the person that went to the concert that didn't have any tickets? Do you identify as that person? Who are you I-aming? Who are you being? Who is your I am? I am the person that has that vehicle, has gone to that concert that was hard to get tickets for, or whatever. That's identity. And then people talk about the now. And they'll say, yeah, but all this stuff is great, but I can feel like I'm doing good financially or whatever, but my bank account, my wallet, my pocketbook, my change jar says something different, right? Or I can feel I'm healed or healthy or whatever, but my body says something different, right? The point of manifesting is you're not reacting. You're allowing the negative emotions and thoughts to come to your head, the doubts, whatever. You let them come, you let them go. The doubts, the figure it outs, you don't try to figure anything out. You don't worry about any negative thoughts, any negative feelings. Just let them come and go. Well, it's the same thing. No matter what your wallet, your pocketbook, the doctor says, what your body says right now, you are focused on, that's whatever it is. But you're not reacting anymore because you know better. You know that you're focused on health or wealth or happy marriage or happy situation or the new home you want to own or the move you want to make or the better job or the better vehicle, whatever it is, you are already focused on that. So you let all that stuff come. You let all it be what it is right now. Let it be what it be, okay? But you aren't reacting anymore because you know better. You know. It's like you went in a time machine. You've seen the future self. So you come back and you're like, whatever. People talk about the now and that there's only now. And they are right. The eternal now. Eternity is right now. There is no past. There is no future. There's only now. If you went back in a time machine to the past or went to the future, it would only be that now. So what do you do in the now when the thing hasn't manifested? You simply don't react. You're like, I already know. And then through events that you cannot predict, you do not know, things will happen. As it is said, the bridges of incident. You will go across bridges of incident. Things will happen. Any actions you have to take, any ideas that you need, whatever, any words you need to speak, whatever, will come to you because you have already chosen to focus on the awareness of having that thing. So anything you got to do, don't worry about it. You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to force it out. You simply focus your mind. It's an illusion in this dream matrix, this lucid dream matrix. We are spirits or God, lucid dreaming. It is an illusion to think that we can do anything, for we can do nothing, as it is said. We can do nothing. We simply decide where we're going in this lucid dream, and our character will do whatever it needs to do, and any other characters, any situations, will morph to where it manifests what you want. All is mind. There's nothing but consciousness. Manifesting, successful manifesting, doing it consciously with purpose, because we all manifest all the time anyway. You can liken it to being a rebel, manifesting like a rebel, or a villain, as it has been said, or manifesting like an outlaw, a spiritual outlaw, or being satanic, which Satan comes from the term adversary. Be adversarial to your own doubts. Manifest like a god, your own god. You manifest by what you focus, what you choose to be true for yourself. There is no laws or rules for manifesting. There may be so-called techniques, but they're all based on the one law, because there is only one law, and that is the law of mind. There is nothing else in the whole universe. The universe is nothing but mind. It's just consciousness. And you have freedom, but you only have one freedom. But it's the only freedom you'll ever need. The freedom to choose what you will be conscious of. We talk about being able to choose what we want to manifest or create in this world. You don't manifest anything. You don't attract anything. You don't create anything. All you do is choose what you're going to be conscious of. So when you want to choose something like, I choose a better job, better love life, better health, whatever. I choose to move, I want to move to this better house or this better area, whatever. I choose this better car for myself. I choose. You choose that. You can say you choose it, but are you conscious of having it already? That's the difference. There's only one law, the law of mind, law of consciousness. There's only one freedom, and that's the freedom to choose. The freedom of choice they talk about, the freedom to choose what thoughts you're going to abort, the freedom of choice, and what thoughts you're going to give life to or choose to be true for yourself. A lot of times we think we have things we'd rather choose or rather be true for ourselves, but are we choosing to be conscious of those things being real? No matter what the physical world is doing right now, your bank account, the health report, no matter you still got to go to the shitty job or drive the shitty old car, whatever it is, or you're lonely or in a bad relationship or whatever it is, you choose to be conscious. Whatever you choose to be conscious of is what is your reality. I like to say that I am satanic or adversarial or rebellious to even my own thoughts, my own doubting thoughts, or my thoughts trying to figure things out, or my own worries or my anxieties or feelings, negative feelings. I choose to accept that this is my reality, no matter what the physical world is doing right now. This so-called physical world, this dream matrix is what it really is. Because we know that all matter, all physical matter is really made up of dream material, made up of consciousness. Quantum scientists are proving that over and over and over, and there's only going to be more proof of that. There is nothing but mind or consciousness. What you say is true for you is true for you because of the only one law that exists. The true law of nature is one. It is the law of mind. The only freedom you have is to choose what you're going to be conscious of, what you're going to put your mind on. When you realize that and you live from that understanding, manifesting, you become a master manifester. You realize there's nothing outside of you, no one outside of you that gets to choose. Not even your own brain's negative thoughts and your body's emotions and feelings at the time. None of that decides what you decide to be conscious of. That's manifesting like a god. That is manifesting mastery. The whole manifesting like a villain thing comes from, and I'm going to plug his channel, Eric from the channel The Power of I Am on YouTube. Best teacher in my opinion, and a cool dude. I wish I could sit down and have a couple glasses of whiskey with him. He's a cool dude. But he talks about manifesting like a villain. It's not you're a villain to anybody else. You're a villain to your own doubts. Some people joke and say tongue-in-cheek, they'll say manifest like a psychopath. And what they simply mean by that is you're a psychopath to your own worries and doubts and silly negative thoughts and negative bad feelings and shit. Well, manifesting like a psychopath is someone who lacks empathy. Anyone that's on the psychopathy scale, they generally, or sociopathy or psychopathy, they lack empathy for other people. Well, manifesting like a villain or a psychopath or an outlaw isn't about not having any empathy for other people. It's simply about being cold-blooded towards your own negative thinking and doubting. That's what it's about. Now, that lets me segue into the topic about other people. Do you control other people with your thoughts and telepathy and all that? That's bullshit, but a topic for some other video. No, you get to choose how you experience them. You have your own, they're sovereign and you have your sovereignty. Like my wife, I am blissfully, very happily married, but I said that to myself before I ever met her. I was single and I said, I've been through a divorce and everything, actually a couple divorces in my life, and some, broken relationships. And so I decided, made up my mind as I was learning this stuff, that I am blissfully and happily married, and I lived in the inn like we'd already been together for a while. Then later, less than 90 days later, met my wife. Less than 60 days later, met my wife, my future wife. who's now my present wife and been my wife for 9 years now. In just a few weeks will be our 9-year anniversary. But the point being is, my own frustrations, negativity towards women, negativity towards marriage, negativity to myself, how I was, blah, 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 in relationships. I just started becoming a villain or a psychopath to that stuff, or satanic to it. I started adversarial. I just said, no, I don't give a shit. That's not who I am now. Start making your mind up who you are now. It's about your being, who you are being. As far as if you have a boss or a toxic neighbor or toxic relative or whatever, you choose, or let's say you're in a bad marriage, you choose who you are, that you're happily in a relationship, happily married, a happy employee, whatever, you choose, and you make up your mind. Whatever has to happen, that boss gets fired or quits, that a divorce comes, whatever has to happen. Just like you choose, I have a good job, even though you have a shitty job. I have a great vehicle, even though right now you have a hoopty and a hunk of shit, a junker car, right? Whatever it is, you choose, I am this person. I don't have $5 in the bank account. I feel like I've got $5 million, right? You feel that way. You become that person. It's who you are being. Whatever other people do, people that no longer fit your vibe, your vibrations, who do not fit in that consciousness that you have now chosen, will get out of your life, and the right people in the right situations, the right money, the right health, whatever, will come. It's who you choose to be. So it's not about being cruel to other people. People I don't care for, I don't want to be around. I just simply say, I live a life where I am always respected, I'm treated good, etc., etc. I am that person. And those people may come in your life and immediately go right on out. Or they don't bother you. Or they're nice to you, but they're shit asses and assholes to everybody else. Okay? You choose who you are. It's all about who you're conscious of being. Who your character, your avatar, your human self is being. You decide. And let the human being part of yourself have its negative thoughts, its worries, do what it's got to do right now. You ain't got lots of money, you got bad health, you're lonely or in a bad relationship, or drive a shitty car at a shitty job or whatever, or live where you don't want to live. You do what you got to do, but feel the feeling no matter what's physically going on, no matter what's going on in your brain, no matter what's going on with your emotion. It's the law of consciousness, is the law of being, because all you are is truly consciousness, eternal consciousness, living a temporary human character life in this matrix earth, this lucid dream of experience. Your human self, the human being you're being, because you are the being, you are consciousness, you are God, living as a human being. And that humanness is think of it as your VR headset in a video game. Your VR headset is your human senses, your 5 senses. You couldn't explore this world except you had that VR headset on. You take the VR headset off, and that's what happens when you die. That's what happens when you meditate, when you go into the silence, which, by the way, I found old New Thought and Mystic books that wrote about the silence and called it the silence in the 1800s. The silence, where you're that stillness of where your awareness is just watching the thoughts in your mind go by, paying attention to the emotional feelings. But when you put on a VR headset and you go back to seeing with your 2 human eyes and your ears and smell and taste and touch and have those 5 senses and think with your human brain, or see things through the filter of the human brain, I should say, that's the experience, the human experience. But when your body, when this avatar ends its play life, when it dies, you will still be conscious and aware. This is what all the main mystery schools, ancient times to modern mystery schools, teach. That we are all consciousness, and that there is only one consciousness. As one gentleman, one mystic decades ago, explained, long before you and I were born, explained, he one time was meditating himself, and he seen a vision of God sitting in the lotus position, like a Buddha, meditating. And all of a sudden he shattered into millions and millions of pieces. That's us. We are all fingers of the same hand. We are consciousness, living individual human experiences. So we are all sovereign, and we can choose who we are being. We are the person that's happily married, the person that's healthy, the person that's financially well off or wealthy or whatever. The person that whatever goals and things that you want. You choose. You get to choose what your consciousness, your awareness is aware of. And you can't be aware of two things at once. That's why some people get mixed up results. I've done that by accident in my past. You're aware of two different things. You're in two different worlds, and you can't do that. So if you're aware of being healthy but ill at the same time, then what happens is sometimes your health will seem like it's okay, and other times you'll be sick again. Or you'll get money and then it goes away quickly. You have to spend it, a bill comes up, etc., etc. An unexpected bill. Things like that. It'll go and it'll come. The people win lotteries. A great example has been used to prove this point is people will point to people who inherit a bunch of money or they get money from a lottery or something, and then they just lose that money. It's because they didn't stay in the consciousness of wealth. That's what matters. Never put anything, your happiness, dependent upon the physical thing manifesting. Instead, you put it on the happiness of knowing who you are, that you are the one, you are consciousness, you are God, however you want to look at it. And your power is in your choosing what you're going to be aware of. Your power is not about manifesting seemingly physical things in this life. It's about knowing and being happy because you know that you are okay. You're not a sinner in need of salvation. You're not a broken person. None of that. Maybe you've been through horrible traumatic things in your life, or you've done horrible things in your life. But you're not that person from yesterday. You're only the person you are now. You can become conscious. I've changed who I am simply by changing my consciousness, how I began to see life and see things. And I just stopped being the person, the shitty parts of myself, by simply changing my mind or changing my state of mind, changing my perception and seeing things in a different light, a healthier light, a better light. You change from having the thought of illness in your body or poverty to wealth or health. You change your state. If it seems like you can never find all women are all horrible, or all men are all horrible, and then you say you want to be in a relationship, a happy relationship, you can't. You're double-minded. That's unstable. It's instability. And you'll manifest that instability. In this world, the one has divided itself. It's duality, seeming duality. I don't believe in a literal duality like we got to fight against evil and all this other shit. You're not here to fight and struggle against anything. You're here to choose. So the evil stuff or the bad stuff that you see in this life or people do or whatever, instead focus on solutions or things you would like to see that are better. Because in this world, it will never be what you would call perfect and all good. There has to be bad. There has to be the dark. There has to be the coldness. There has to be poverty. There has to be illness. The extremes of the polarity. But it's all just one. It's seemingly that there's two things, but there's not. It's the one thing stretched out. Just like this experience of time. There is no time, but things are stretched out. There is no physical, actual matter, objective matter. It is thought, crystallized, slowed down. That's why mystical people talk about the density. This world is dense. It's slowed down so that we can experience time, because everything is all at once. But it was slowed down so we can experience the experience of time. So we can have the senses and see things and hear things and smell and taste good food, hear good music, or to laugh and to all of this. So we're here to experience this matrix, but you're not the human being. You're being the human being. Who you are is the being, or the I am, the one consciousness. We're like fingers on the same hand. The hand is the one mind. And we're all extensions of the one mind. We're all nodes of the one mind, tentacles of the one mind. Experiencing through the, how would you experience, the focus or the funneling or something like that. I'm trying to think of the words. I don't want this video to be too long. But you're experiencing through the perspective of the human character you're playing now. But when you meditate, you realize you're not the human character. You're playing the human character. It's just like when you're playing a video game. You're not the actual person in the video game. You're playing that person. And that's how this life is. This life is not about struggling. It's about experiencing all ends of spectrum. Sometimes we have to experience bad things to experience good things. A great example I like to use is my marriage. I've had bad marriages. I wasn't good for them. They weren't good for me. And a couple of the women were really bad women. But experience those things to experience a good relationship and a healthy marriage. to have some shitty cars to experience and appreciate a good car. By the way, always appreciate everything you have, simply because what it does is the state of mind it puts you in, the perception you have. When you begin to appreciate good stuff, you'll notice you get more and more. This is this mystical thing in the Bible that when I was a Christian years ago, I was a Christian for 37 years and got into metaphysics and mysticism and walked away from all that. But there was Bible verses in the New Testament I didn't understand. And there was the Bible verse that talks about he that has will get more, but he that doesn't have, even he will lose even that. And I didn't understand that. I thought that was kind of cruel, weird. It didn't make sense to me. Now it makes total sense to me. If you're in a state of lack, that's what you're going to keep getting. You can say, I want this, I want that, I choose this to manifest, I want that to be attracted, I want to create this in my life, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't happen because you're not in the state of mind. You think it's physical action or figuring it out with your brain. It's not. The character that you play in a video game doesn't get to make any decisions. It's the person playing the character. You are a person. You are the awareness playing the character. That's why your bad negative thoughts, worries, and doubts, that don't mean nothing. Bad negative feelings, that don't mean shit to you. Just to be aware of them, because we're here to experience the polarity of both ends of the spectrum. It's all one thing, but it's split up, so there's polarity. Temperature is just temperature, but you have hot and cold. Taste is bitter and sweet, but it's all one thing, taste, but it's split up to be sweet and bitter. Temperature, light and darkness. There is lack of light and lots of light, really bright. So that's the duality. Now, a lot of people in mystic schools, they teach a religious idea that you have to fight good against evil. Zoroastrianism teaches that. Even Buddhism teaches something to that effect. Of course, Christianity, Judaism, all these things teach that you have to fight. Islam, you have to, fight things, blah, blah, blah. A lot of New Age religions, and some of the old mystic schools taught this good versus evil bullshit. No, we're in a dual world, a seemingly dual world, when everything is actually one. Actually, all of us are one, but we're seemingly the other, your neighbor, your coworker, your family people, all of that. They're seemingly others. It seems like things are outside of you, but they're not. When you understand that nothing is outside of you, it's all within you, within your consciousness, that's where it's at. Not your physical brain, but within your true consciousness, who you really are eternally. When you realize that, you can manifest or attract or create, if you want to use those words, but you can choose to be aware of those things, and those things will, in this world, they take seemingly time and events, but they actually are happening instantly the moment you choose them to choose to be aware of the new situation. I don't like this house. I want to live in my dream home. All right, then you be in the state that you live in your dream home. You just feel like you already got it. That's what you do. You just feel like you already got it. Don't feel the lack of it. Don't worry about it. Go back to the house that you're at now that you don't like, or the apartment or whatever, and you just go, yeah. But you feel the fulfillment already because you know who you are and you know how it really works. Any actions you have to take and the human character has to take, they'll take them. Don't worry about it, because the conscious awareness is the player of the avatar of the human. The being that you are the being, God, if you will, consciousness. And you're choosing what the human being is going to experience. Well, then the human being do whatever it wants or think whatever it wants, doesn't matter. Feel any emotions it wants, doesn't matter. Because you've already made a decision, you stick to it's already a done deal. When you feel fulfilled and you don't feel anxious to have it anymore, you're not worried about you're going to have it anymore, you feel like you already got it, you've had it already, that feeling of in the end, like I've already had it for a while. When you feel that way, that's when you know that your consciousness, you are totally focused. It doesn't matter what your human thoughts or what's going on out here in the world. And that's mastering manifesting. People talk about we're all master manifestors, we all manifest our life anyway, we just do it unconsciously. Well, okay, but in reality, that's like giving a loaded firearm to a child who's never been trained on how to use firearms or firearm safety. That's what it is. So mastering manifesting means mastering, you're consciously doing it. But yeah, everyone manifests the reality. As far as ghosts and aliens and all these weird mystical, metaphysical, or psi events, PSI, psi events that people have, that's because the states that they're in, and that fits those characters, those people that they're playing in the reality that they see things through, how they choose to live their life. That's why some of us here at work, just a few weeks ago, guys took video that showed it to me, photos of a UFO that stood up here. It was one of them little orb things, clear orb things, that was up in the sky, stayed in the sky. My supervisor and other employees took photos and videos of it, and they all said it was set for hours. I'm out here, never seen it. Now, they didn't tell me about it, and I was working, but I never seen it because that's not important to me. But other people, it might fit their reality. That's why people have these seemingly strange events and things like that. It fits their personality. But this whole world is just a dream matrix. We're not here to, fight evil or, connect with aliens and alien beings or the Federation or spirits, gods, angels, your dead ancestors, any of that kind of shit. If that's what you're in the state of and you believe, then that's what you could possibly experience. But the reality is, this is all a dream matrix, and there is nothing but consciousness, dreaming, and having fun. Have a great life. And now I'm going to end this video. I've already made it long enough. Okay, I lied. My intent in making this video is I was just wanting to put together some of my main thoughts and ideas, because my videos are mainly like a video journal for myself, video diary, just doing stuff for fun or whatever. That's what my channel's about. Not about manifesting in particular or anything in particular, just having fun. And my intent in starting this video, and everything you learn in mysticism and metaphysics is intent. My actual intent was just to make a video, put some of my best juicy ideas and thoughts that I have learned through studying manifesting and metaphysics and practicing it and through experience. So, and it's all about me anyway, so I'm going to add more to this video. If you've watched this far, that means I've said some things that are entertaining or interesting to you or educational. Great. So anyhow, what I wanted to say is that your life is about you. People could call it, being selfish or whatever. No, it's about you. And you living your best life. And what is true for other people or what's going on in their life is their business. So you decide what you're going to choose is true for you by choosing where your awareness is. Now, you do want to be aware of any negative thoughts or feelings that you have or negative situations in your life at the moment. You do want to be aware of them. Why? It's the polarity thing. When you know what you don't want or don't like, automatically you're going to start knowing or finding out, at least partly, what you do like or do want. That's the polarity. So experiencing, like I was mentioning earlier in this video, is experiencing bad marriages, so a good marriage, or how to pick a better spouse, or how to be a better spouse, etc., etc. Or experiencing a bad vehicle or product you bought, so you can learn what you'd rather have. Eating a food one way, and you say, I would rather this way or that way. So it's experiencing that polarity. So don't be afraid. Don't push down, your thoughts or negativity. That's not what I'm talking about. It's letting them flow through you. Let them come. Let the negative thoughts and feelings come. Let them go. You understand? But you want to notice them so you know what you do want. And when you understand why you want a thing, that helps too. And when you set that intent, you set an intention. Like I said, an intention to make a video wasn't going to be too long, but my actual intention was just to make some notes on some main thoughts I have about manifesting and metaphysics, and I realized I got more I wanted to say. So that's the true intent. The true intent wasn't to make a short video that was only 15 minutes long. The true intent was to document my different thoughts on videos. In thoughts. My different thoughts on manifesting and metaphysics. So it's helping you to be more conscious, aware of what you do like when you find out what you don't want. When things manifest, but they're not exactly what you want, it helps you get clarity. And that's what makes this life fun. All right. I'm ending it here.